Thank the gentleman. I will yield myself 5 minutes. Just a few quick questions and a couple thoughts. I agree with you, by the way, Mr. Moore. Right now, we can have another hearing on Epstein. We can have another hearing on January 6th, really trying to talk to people about the people on the street and what they're going through when they live in many of these areas throughout the country. That's what we're supposed to be here for. With that, I have to just digress a tiny second. The Epstein files, just so we all know, Epstein was indicted under President Trump's administration. He was arrested during Trump's administration. Maxwell was indicted during the Trump administration, was arrested during the Trump administration. So let's set the facts straight. Mr. Morrow, I have a question for you, and if you can answer briefly. You know, Democratic Party's changed, and again, I don't want to get political here, but you're right. I mean, if I understood what you were saying, there used to be a bipartisan agreement, probably back around the 90s, I don't know the exact years, President Clinton, other noted Democrats that really cared, that as Democrats, they might have differed in vision with Republicans on some issues, fiscal and otherwise, but keeping our streets safe for the men and women who live in the country, especially in urban areas, wasn't that a bipartisan effort? Wasn't that a different kind of Democrat than what we're seeing now?
The tremendous success in New York City relative to driving down crime that began in the 90s began post-Giuliani. Everybody thought it was going to go away. Under Democrat mayor, a police commissioner serving under a Democratic mayor, in fact, two, Raymond Kelly and William Bratton.
And Mr. Morrow, thank you for that. And my point is, this is a whole new deal now going on with Democrats. This is a different world. This isn't those Democrats back then. This is Mondami is not Bill Clinton. Is not that type of a Democrat at all. Mondami, in fact, wants to take, I'm sure you heard about it, I'm sure you are upset about it, all misdemeanors. There would be no more misdemeanors. I mean, it's unbelievable. The second issue I wanted to talk about is real quickly, I mean, this sounds like a stupid question, but why are we locking up our toothpaste, our mouthwash, our just common things, cough medicine? I mean, what's going on?
This is a salient question. 327 career perpetrators identified by the New York Times now account for a full 1/3 of all the shoplifting in New York City. That's driving these numbers. The point that I tried to make in my opening statement was that we're not talking about locking up vast numbers of people now to change the dynamic on the street. What we learned from broken windows and where we are right now is if there was some surgical enforcement on people who are identified, and we just took those steps, conditions would be greatly improved. These are the kinds of real things that I was hoping we could talk about today.
The stuff that affects people because they're paying more for their goods and services because of it, that makes them feel nervous, they don't like it, it shouldn't be that way. Next question. Isn't part of, this, you can cook the books and statistics. We keep hearing about the statistics. Go out in the street. I know Newark well, doctor. I know it well. I, spent plenty of time there going to continuing education courses at Rutgers University. And I'm going to say that if you went to Newark and North Jersey or Irvington or many of the other cities up there, and if you go into the cities in my area, Pleasantville, Atlantic City, there's a lot of concern from safety, particularly people of color because they live there and they have that concern. But with that saying, isn't part of the statistics, there's low morale, there's less staffing, there's less prosecution, there's less arrests, you just let it go by. So of course, with less prosecution and less arrest, you're gonna have lower numbers. Is there any accuracy to what I say?
Yes.
Exactly, so let's do the real deal. Let's talk about what's really happening. We made it so damn hard for a cop to be a cop and just so disgusted and demoralized with it, they just don't bother unless it's the most serious of situations. I've had cops in D.C. last year tell me that when I actually witnessed something. Let me ask this, Ms. McKinney. Again, sorry to ask questions to you because I know you've gone through a lot. Thank you for being here. I know the condolences and the sorrow means a lot, but would it maybe mean more to you if we enacted policies so that what happened to your son never happened to somebody else again?
Definitely.
That means more than the condolences, doesn't it?
It would, especially in Memphis. That's
So
why with the National Guard there, I know some people are against having the National Guard in big cities or anywhere on U.S. territory. I feel that the National Guard in Memphis, just their presence alone has made a difference. They don't do police.
And may I ask a question related to, real quick for all of you, and then I'm done. Do you believe that the National Guard, the men and women in the Guard, are capable of being on those city streets and doing good and not doing harm? And that they're not just going to be warriors that are going out shooting people and beating them up? Mr. Manguel, yes or no answer?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that puts that away. I thank you. I thank all of you. With that,
I have UCs.
I bet you do.
I mean, you asked different questions. I got answers. My first UC, I asked unanimous consent to